Betrayal, a word that echoes through every era of human history. It is the poison that seeps into bonds forged by loyalty and trust, turning allies into enemies, friends into foes, and hope into ruin. The stories you are about to hear are not simply tales of treachery. They are seismic moments that shifted the destinies of nations and individuals alike. These betrayals shocked the world, not just because of what was done, but who did it. Julius Caesar and Brutus, the fall of a republic, 44 BCE. In the heart of ancient Rome, power and paranoia danced a dangerous waltz. Julius Caesar, a decorated general, had risen to near absolute authority. But as his power grew, so did the whispers in the Senate. Many feared he would crown himself king. Among the conspirators was Marcus Junius Brutus, Caesar's close friend, and some say a man Caesar loved like a son. The betrayal reached its climax on the Ides of March. Surrounded by senators in the theater of Pompey, Caesar was stabbed 23 times. As he looked upon Brutus, he is said to have uttered, "Et tu, Brute," a phrase that immortalized the sting of personal betrayal. Rome was never the same. The Republic crumbled, and the empire rose from its ashes. Brutus believed he was saving the Republic, but instead ushered in civil war and the eventual rule of Augustus Caesar. This act did not restore liberty. It ensured dictatorship under a different name. The betrayal haunted Roman memory and reshaped the Western political tradition forever. Judas Iscariot, a kiss of treason, 30 CE. Judas Iscariot was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ, a man believed by millions to be the Son of God. For 3 years, Judas walked with Jesus, heard his teachings, and witnessed his miracles. Yet for 30 pieces of silver, he handed his teacher over to the authorities. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Judas identified Jesus with a kiss. A gesture of loyalty turned into a signal of treachery. The betrayal led to the crucifixion of Jesus, a foundational event for Christianity. Judas, overwhelmed with guilt, ultimately took his own life. His name became a byword for betrayal. Across centuries, theologians and historians have debated Judas's motivations. Was he disillusioned, possessed, or merely greedy? Whatever the reason, his name became eternal shorthand for betrayal of the worst kind: personal, spiritual, and civilizational. Benedict Arnold, the turncoat of the Revolution 1780. A hero of the American Revolutionary War, Benedict Arnold played key roles in early American victories. Brave, strategic, and trusted by George Washington himself, Arnold seemed a model patriot, but resentment festered. Passed over for promotions and accused of corruption, Arnold felt wronged. He opened secret negotiations with the British, offering to surrender the American fort. British dominance in India at West Point in exchange for money and a position. His plan unraveled when his co-conspirator was captured. Arnold escaped to British lines and served as a general. He died in exile, shunned by both sides. In American culture, Benedict Arnold remains synonymous with traitor. Arnold's betrayal struck at the very heart of the American cause, revealing that even its greatest heroes could turn. His actions fueled American fears of espionage and created a cultural archetype that lives on in politics and fiction alike. The sack of Constantinople. Christians betray Christendom, 1204. The Fourth Crusade began with noble intentions, to reclaim the Holy Land. But politics, greed, and manipulation led the Crusaders astray. Diverted to Constantinople by Venetian interests, the Christian knights turned their swords not against Muslims, but against fellow Christians. In April 1204, they stormed Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. For 3 days, they looted churches, slaughtered civilians, and desecrated holy relics. The betrayal shattered the unity of Christendom and weakened the Byzantine Empire irreparably. The sack was not only a military catastrophe, it was a spiritual one. It proved that greed could overrule piety, that Christian could turn on Christian. Eastern Orthodox and Western Catholic relations fractured deeply. The betrayal by fellow believers echoed for centuries. Mir Jafar, the man who sold India, 1757. In the mid-18th century, India was a patchwork of princely states and declining empires. The British East India Company, hungry for control, eyed Bengal, the wealthiest region. At the Battle of Plassey, British forces led by Robert Clive faced the army of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah. Unknown to the Nawab, his own general, Mir Jafar, had already made a secret pact with the British. Mir Jafar withheld his troops during the battle, ensuring the Nawab's defeat. In return, he was installed as a puppet ruler. His betrayal marked the beginning of British dominance in India, a domination that would last nearly 2 centuries. The betrayal not only cost India its independence, it redefined colonial conquest. It showed how a single act of treason could open the floodgates to imperial rule and subjugation of millions. Kim Philby, The Double Life of a Gentleman Spy, 1930s, 1963. Kim Philby was the quintessential British intelligence officer, well-educated, suave, and seemingly patriotic. He climbed the ranks of MI6 and became a trusted liaison with the CIA. But behind his polished image lay a secret. Philby was a Soviet agent. As part of the infamous Cambridge Five, Philby leaked Western secrets to the KGB for over 2 decades. His betrayal compromised countless operations and led to the deaths of agents behind the Iron Curtain. When finally exposed, Philby defected to Moscow. He died in Russia, receiving honors from the KGB. To Britain, his name became a symbol of the ultimate betrayal in the Cold War. His treachery sent shockwaves through Western intelligence communities. Trust was shattered. Allies looked upon each other with suspicion. The idea that one of their own could so easily become an enemy made espionage a psychological battlefield. Vidkun Quisling, The Puppet of the Nazis, 1940. When Nazi Germany invaded Norway in 1940, Vidkun Quisling did not resist. Instead, he embraced the invaders, proclaiming himself head of a Nazi-aligned government. He collaborated with the Nazis, aiding in the persecution of Jews and suppression of resistance fighters. His rule was marked by fear and betrayal of the Norwegian people. After the war, Quisling was arrested, tried, and executed. His name lives on as a byword for treason. A Quisling is now a global term for a traitor who serves a foreign enemy. Quisling's name became infamous across Europe. His betrayal was not only national, it was ideological. He gave fascism a friendly face and showed how internal collaboration could be deadlier than foreign force. Ephialtes of Trachis, the man who betrayed the 480 BCE. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans made a legendary stand against the invading Persian army. For 2 days they held the line, inspiring generations with their courage. But the Persians found another way, through betrayal. Ephialtes, a local Greek familiar with the terrain, revealed a secret mountain path to the Persians in exchange for a reward. The result? The Persian army flanked the Spartans, leading to their heroic but doomed final stand. Ephialtes was branded a traitor, and his name in Greek came to symbolize cowardice and treachery. His betrayal didn't just doom 300 warriors, it threatened all of Greece. Only a later victory at Salamis and Plataea saved the Greeks. Ephialtes' name became a reminder that internal betrayal is deadlier than overwhelming odds. The Dreyfus Affair. A nation betrays its own, 1894 to 1906. Captain Alfred Dreyfus, a Jewish officer in the French army, was falsely accused of spying for Germany. With flimsy evidence and a wave of anti-Semitism sweeping through France, he was court-martialed and sentenced to life on Devil's Island. As the years passed, evidence surfaced proving his innocence and revealing that another officer was the true culprit. The French military, unwilling to admit its error, covered up the truth. The affair divided France, exposed institutional corruption, and laid bare the depth of national prejudice. Though Dreyfus was eventually exonerated, the betrayal by his own government left a deep scar. The Dreyfus Affair birthed the modern human rights movement in France. It exposed how systemic betrayal of truth, of justice, of identity can destroy a nation's moral compass. Robert Hanssen, Betrayal from the Heart of the FBI, 1979 to 2001. Robert Hanssen was not just an FBI agent. He was one of the agency's top counterintelligence officers. For over 2 decades, he sold classified information to the Soviets and later the Russians. Hanssen compromised dozens of operations and revealed the identities of U.S. double agents, some of whom were executed as a result. He worked undetected for years, operating from within the very agency tasked with catching spies. In 2001, Hanssen was finally caught and sentenced to life imprisonment. His betrayal is considered one of the most damaging in American intelligence history. His case shook the American intelligence community to its core. A mole at the heart of the FBI revealed how vulnerable even the most secure institutions could be. It redefined counterintelligence protocols for a generation. History teaches us many lessons, but perhaps none more chilling than this. The most devastating blows often come not from the enemy at the gates, but the friend at your side. These betrayals were not just personal, they changed nations, shifted empires, and altered the world as we know it. Because in the end, betrayal isn't just about broken trust, it's about broken worlds. Would you trust them again? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. Your support helps uncover the past they didn't want us to remember. Thank you for watching.